series, what we do is try and answer questions. Now, one of the questions that I get asked all the time, in fact, one of the reasons that we are often brought into a situation is to answer this question: how do I make more money? And it's asked not because they want to necessarily make more money, it's because they're not making enough money to actually be worth doing what they're doing. And practices have this happen all the time. It's not an unlikely circumstance that a practice is in a situation where they're not really making enough money. It's expensive. It's expensive to hire personnel. It's expensive to have equipment. Anybody who's been in any kind of a practice for any length of time realizes that it's not just simply, okay, let's open up a practice. Let's start doing what we do. That's why many doctors go into an associateship, or some doctors get hired into hospitals, or there are a variety of different combinations, but oftentimes going into private practice is not something that we do simply because it's cost prohibitive. It is very difficult to get through that barrier. So oftentimes people ask the question, how do I make more money? Not because they want to necessarily make a lot more money, although we come to find out that is something that is part of their plan. It's because they need more money to be able to actually operate their business. So the first thing, how do I make more money? We have to look at a few different things within the practice. One of the things that we're going to look at is efficiency. How efficient is our practice? How efficiently are we running our practice? How do we get external referrals? Well, we can advertise. We can go out and buy, essentially, new patients. Or we can talk to the professional community and see how people would refer into us or bring people to us. Our internal game, the internal referrals, how do we do that? Well, that's the subject of an entirely different video that I want you to, to get, because it is very important that we understand that. And at C4 Practice Services, we make it a point to help people understand that's the one we want to focus on. Why? Because it's least expensive. We don't have to shell out a lot to actually get it back, and it's the way we should be doing it anyway. All right, so let's break this down and look at it a little more closely. Efficiency for us is broken down into these three areas: staff, structure, and setting. Everything that we do is within those three settings. So when we're working with a practice, we're looking at, are we using staff efficiently? Are we set up properly in our structure? And is our setting efficiently being used? Staff, structure, and setting is really where it's all at regarding efficiency. However, we never look at efficiency first. That's a later topic, and I'm not going to talk about that right now. But efficiency is certainly one of those things that we want to look at. Now, the next thing we want to look at is external referrals. We get external referrals in a lot of different ways. Marketing, probably the most prevalent of external referrals, and we market over a lot of different ways today. On the web, direct mail, coupons. I suppose some people are still using yellow pages, bus signs, a lot of different ways that people market today. But basically, you're going out and buying patients into the practice. And then, what other professional results are we getting, or who's referring to us from the professional community in which we serve in healthcare? So all of those types of things are the external game, and there are a lot of ways to fine-tune and tweak that, but that's really the subject of another one, not this particular video. And then finally, we look at internal referrals. We can ask for them, we can ask staff to get them for us, or we can get people excited about what it is that we do. That one is the key. That's what we, at C4 Practice Services, that's what we do. We help practices learn how to do that, do it effectively, do it consistently, so that they can get the result that they're really after. I promise you that this works. I've watched it. I've seen it happen time and time again. Buy my book. You'll see stories in there. You'll begin to understand what it means to create an experience for patients. It truly is powerful. I've seen practices grow many times over, not because they're doing something clinically different, but because they enhance the experience that patients have. So please remember, it's all about the patient experience. Everything that we do is about the patient experience, and we want you to understand that that's where true power in growth or getting more money actually lies. So thank you for watching this video, and remember, it's all about the patient experience.